Hi, folks. I'm Bob Piorun, and this is my show, Musically Speaking, where I'm documenting the musicians and the history of Central New York music and the venues and everything concerned with music. Today, I have two old friends. Not to say they're old, because they're both younger than me, so they can't be that old. I have the wonderful Ms. Ann Adessa, also known as Queenie, to those who are in the know, and Mr. Duke Shanahan, one of the finest guitar players ever to come out of Auburn. And I could do a show on either one of them and go on for hours, but today we're going to center on one of their earlier groups and then a project that we were together on back not too long ago. So what we're going to talk about, in the 60s, they had one of the first rock groups that almost made it. They made an album and they got a certain amount of success, and so they're going to tell us about that. First, let's see, the name of the group that eventually evolved was Siddhartha. Okay, and I was thinking that word smoke, but was that the name of the album?
That's what they named the album.
Okay, that's why I got it confused in my mind. So in the late 60s, they did an album. Their group was called Siddhartha, and the album was called Smoke, and it's still out there someplace in Japan selling for many yen.
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube,
everywhere.
yeah. So let's talk, and apparently Duke wasn't in the first edition of it, so tell us about the early history of the band. Who were the first players?
Well, Jimmy Watts started this band with Buzzy Yaya, and we practiced in Yaya's warehouse.
Mm-hmm. So what year?
It was 1967. I was 16 years old.
Wow.
Between 67 and 69, we had turnover of personnel. Duke came in and replaced
Buzzy Yaya.
And then John Martin, that wrote our record that was on the charts in England, he replaced
Glenn Perkins.
Glenn Perkins. By the way, I just want to interject, if I don't get to mention him, Glenn was a great young guitar player back in the early days. He was way above a lot of people. But anyways, just back to that. So the group that evolved into Siddhartha was you two, Dave Arliss, Jimmy Watts,
and John Martin.
Who
went as Zilch Fletcher.
Right.
Yep.
And just out of curiosity, let's see, I'm not sure what I was doing then. I was playing at the LV or so. Where did you guys play, for example?
Well, you were here, and you were established in Auburn. We were always in Ithaca, Cortland.
Oh, were you?
Every
that's
college
right.
campus,
Yeah.
every frat house
frat
that
parties.
exists
Yeah.
in the whole entire world.
How'd you get to do an album, a record?
Well, our agent was John Perriellis.
Yep.
Oh
John
yeah,
Perriellis.
okay, that would make
Out of
sense.
Ithaca, and he had a lot of connections in New York City, and
Right.
we did the album at RCA.
Did you really?
New
In
You
New York
went to
City,
New
in
York?
the bottom of the Rockefeller Center,
Yeah.
Rockefeller Plaza.
Back in those days, did you record live? I mean, they didn't do it like they do today. You went in, you all played.
We all
and
in
then
one big. It was a big room, and we all played.
Really, you weren't even sectioned off.
No section. And then the vocals were the next day.
Is that right? Really?
Right.
Yeah.
We did it all in 2 days.
In 2
They
days?
recorded us
Yeah.
in the room where they bring in an orchestra.
Really? Wow. Did anybody promote? Did John Perriellis or anybody promote the album? Or?
Well, RCA was supposed to promote the album.
Yeah, and it just
Yeah.
So what? Okay, so what happened after that? So you're waiting to become successful and for your album to hit the charts.
Well, I
So
wanted
what
to
did
quit my job at the car wash.
Oh, yeah. I hope you didn't. You didn't. Did you? So you were while you were in school.
I was,
you
I
while
just
you
got out of
guys
high
were-
school.
I was freeloaded.
you freeloading. No, so you guys were all 16, 17, 18, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were technically
It was
in
just
school.
before the Woodstock Festival.
Was it really? Yeah.
Or was it after?
Yeah,
No.
see those, the 60s.
I don't remember much
People,
after
yeah,
Woodstock.
that's what they say. People don't remember things from the 60s. But anyway, so how long did the group last?
I don't know.
Yeah, see, people don't. Did it last for 2 years or 3 years? Or?
Well, you did another album after, right?
I did another album after.
Oh,
Bobby Comstock did all the music.
Oh, so was it still called Siddhartha, or it evolved into
No,
another thing.
No,
But you went to Europe too, didn't you?
yes, the second album was like half original. I wrote it. Bobby Comstock produced it. The same people promoted it, and it was what it was.
Oh, well. So back then, I assume this, but and I understand you wanted to be Grace Slick, or wouldn't she be the person you wanted to emulate at that time, right? I mean,
that was the era we were in. Yeah.
Yeah, Grace Slick. So I mean,
Yeah.
do you think the group was kind of like a Jefferson Airplane? Was it? I don't remember even hearing your tunes. Or
Well, on the album they had a big horn section. I think they
Oh,
wanted
you
to,
did? I didn't know
They
that. Really?
the producer Andy Wiswall,
Yep.
who did he did the Sergeant Barry Sadler hit. Remember?
Oh, really? Yeah.
Green
Yeah.
Beret.
Yeah, I remember
Then he
that.
did something with hair, was it, or something
Yep,
like that? But
and
they
he-
put a big horn thing on. I don't know if they wanted us to
Really?
be like Chicago. With
So
a
after
female-
the fact, they added.
Yeah.
that.
yeah,
So
we didn't know
Yeah.
about it at the time.
Did you when you heard it? What did you think? Did you like that, or did
It
you be
was
upset?
kind of
I mean, did you like it, or did you go, "What the heck did they do?" to
some
us?"
of it I thought they did well on, but the rest of it just wasn't.
Yeah.
It's just that they changed the whole concept, and in order to change the whole concept of the person that signed the record contract, you have to at least have a discussion with the
Yeah.
person whose name was on the contract.
Well,
that was
yeah,
the thing right
yeah,
there.
but
It's
see,
like
that's what they did
took,
back then.
Right, they took
Yeah.
it and did what they wanted
See,
with it.
today the artist is more in control. In those
Right.
days,
In
the
those days, you had
companies,
nothing
yeah,
to
the
say about it.
management and the companies really were the ones to take over. So, and then after that, so you guys don't even remember the group kind of. It sounds like it just kind of fizzled out then, because you don't remember like.
Well, we had a hit record off that album in England on the BBC.
Uh-huh.
We were best bet in Cashboard and Billbox. The Cashbox and Billboard. The band would have been together, but because we had a tour in Europe, and then that fell through, and then the whole thing fell apart.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting how the smallest things can happen, and you think you're destined for some kind of success,
Right.
and all of a sudden,
If we could have actually, had something to say about it and got as far as Europe, we would have been like Man of War.
yeah. Well, you never know. A lot of things happen and then the reverse thing happens where some bad luck,
Yeah.
people go their own ways. But eventually, all three of us have been very successful in music, so we can't complain about too much. As a matter of fact, we'll proceed from there. We could talk a little bit about what we did. We did. I don't even remember how long. I'll have to look at the date. When did?
That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, we
3
did.
years.
Oh no,
Tighten
I
up,
think it was.
tighten up.
Oh no, it's 2012.
Oh.
The three of us collaborated. I wrote a blues CD, and Duke was on it, and Ann was on it. So this would be a good time. And I should also mention, geez, we had Jimmy Chambers, who's a great singer. A lot of people aren't aware of him. He's from Auburn originally. He did a great job on that blues with you. So while we're on that subject, why don't we do one of the songs I wrote? It's called My Son Is Gone. Ann, do you still remember that, since it was from 2012?
I know it.
Okay. So we're going to do a little original tune, and here we go.
You were the centerpiece of my existence. I gave up everything to be with you. But then you said to me with such insistence,
Okay, as a matter of fact, I'd like to mention on the album I had originally from Auburn, Frank Zona. We had his sax part sent digitally to the studio. So Frank Zona was well known. The Zona family had Sunbright Cleaners, for people who might remember. He actually played sax on the album cut of that when we did that song. So, all right, so this is a little project we did together. Before we talk about maybe another song there, let me hit you guys with some questions you probably weren't prepared for, that, you know, the way I think I come up with stuff. What do you think of the current state of live music in Auburn and the surrounding areas, since you both are out performing? What do you think, Duke?
There's a lot of talented musicians in town.
Yeah, that's for sure. We've always had more
Yeah,
than our share.
yeah.
But I'm talking about the venues. Do you think there's more places? Of course,
Well,
you know.
back in our day, it was high school dances, and
Yeah,
they had
that's
4
right.
high schools. Down
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Right.
And Sacred Heart, St. Alphonsus,
St.
lake
Alphonsus.
dances, you know.
Yeah.
With,
You're right. There were, well, it was the LB and the Pangos.
that'll be for you guys. Yeah.
And actually, I'm going to have a
Both
show on
times.
the venues that had music back then. But you're right; it was mostly the high schools. What was cool is we all, like, I went to Mount Carmel and Lidl went to West, but we would go to different schools, and I think
Yeah.
they coordinated it. So one week there was a
They
dance.
did, yeah.
Because I remember going to see the Sindells. Oh, great groups
Yeah.
back then. You know,
All
the
Central
Showman-
New York people.
Yeah, all, the
Different
group
kind
from
of corner.
Syracuse that did the Sam and the
Sam and the
Twisters,
Twisters were
and
big.
people like that. You're right. But what I was asking, like the venues, I recently counted, like, right within Auburn, 12 places that you could
Where they
that have
live music.
entertainment. You know.
You can see live entertainment any night of the week in this
Yeah.
town.
Yeah,
Right,
there's
yeah.
I think there's a lot
Any
more
night of
going
the
on
week.
in a different way than there used to be. Like back when I was playing bars, it was mostly those outlying places. Like when I was with Home Cook and Shaker Heights
Yep.
and the Grill,
Yeah,
and those real gin mills.
Yeah.
You know, scary places to play. But today it's there's some nicer places downtown. We have a lot of good places. And I should mention, a lot of people are going to know this. Not only is Ann the queen of the blues in Central New York, she's also the music director at Sacred Heart Church, which is kind of a strange combination of things.
Well,
But
it wasn't strange when it started out as a project.
that's
When it started out as a project, I was in my 30s and I had 3 children. And
So-
I could make more money sitting down during the day than I could standing up at night. So that was an easy sell. That was it. It was-
So do you remember?
That's how we went that way, Robert.
I actually got you that gig, if you remember. You probably don't
And
remember.
you're the one that convinced me to teach. You
Yes,
told me,
I
Ann,
said,
you're the
yeah.
one that should be teaching. You like kids.
You said, I don't know how to play piano. You said, I don't know how to play piano. How am I going to teach? And I said, Ann, you'll
I
learn while
always
you're
played.
teaching.
I
while
always
you learn.
played. No, I learned more from my students than I ever learned from a teacher.
That's what I'm telling
It's
you.
the truth.
I'll be honest with you. I have to go along with it.
And that was your idea, too.
Just as a little diversion, I've learned more teaching, because here's the thing: when you have to sit there and present something to somebody, you better know it. Because you know, when you're teaching, I got to admit that's a great statement, Ann, because that's true.
It is true.
I learned more by teaching, and then people would ask you questions. What is this? And then you go, wow, I got to think that out.
be
I
on
thought I
top of it.
knew. Did you ever find yourself trying to explain something to somebody and you really couldn't get it all out? Usually that means you really don't know it that well.
Well, you just did the show with Lauren Berenger. When you actually teach someone when they're young that like surpasses you, is that not the biggest thrill ever?
Well, I'll be honest with you. First, he's going to be mad at you. His name is Lauren Berger. So
Okay,
we don't want to call him Lauren
I'm
Berger.
Shame.
We might,
You can edit it.
no. Lawrence such a nice guy that he doesn't mind anything. But you know, as far as I've had people. As a matter of fact, I've taught so many talented people that could have been out there playing, and I'm glad they didn't. But I realized something. It's not just about how talented you are. You got to have a lot of other things going for you. I've taught people that probably could end up blowing me away on the guitar, but they didn't have. I think perseverance is far more important than talent in a lot of ways. I mean, every one of us, we stuck with this not because the money was great or because we got a lot of extra things. We did it because we wanted to do it. We persevered at it. So, But anyways, I was going to bring together. I lost my train of thought though. Here's kind of a song. Ann is works at a church, and she also sings the blues. So what could be better than a great song by T-Bone Walker called "Stormy Monday," which talks about a little of both of those elements. So because we're such nice, durable or versatile instrumentalists, we're going to put this in the key of E sharp, which for the people who don't know is actually equivalent to F for Annie. So we're going to do a
I
little.
might hear about that for the next 20 years. You know that.
We're gonna do we're gonna do it's no problem for us. We're gonna do the song "Stormy Monday," originally by T-Bone Walker. Although this are all these chords that came about. Is that from the Allman Brothers?
No,
Is that what
T-Bone
he did?
Walker
Did he
did
actually?
that.
Yeah, I think he did.
Those chord changes are in quite a few old blues tunes.
Are they really? Yeah, because I always equated it with the Allman Brothers.
The Allman Brothers made it very popular.
Right.
The
Yeah,
song.
by doing even more popular than he did, I think, at the time. So, anyways, here's kind of a religious blues, indirectly.
They call it Stormy Monday, but I got up on Tuesdays just as bad. Some people call it Stormy Monday, but I say Tuesdays just as bad. Wednesday's worse. Thursday's oh so sad. Friday night, I go out to play. The eagle flies on Friday. I go out to play. Saturday I rest, and Sunday I get on my knees and pray. The eagle flies on Friday. Saturday I go out to play. The eagle flies on Friday. Saturday I go out to play. Sunday I get down on my knees. Lord, I start to pray. Lord, have mercy. Have mercy on my soul. Lord, have mercy. Have mercy on my soul. Lord, have mercy. Have mercy on my soul.
Now there's a song that represents Queenie right
Oh,
there.
yeah.
That's got
Yeah.
her blues and the church thing all wrapped up together in there. So let's see. Let's get to we probably could have a whole show about this, but back in the 70s, we had some groups together, a rare combination of disco and jazz, and we had some great people with us. Tommy Hilliker, who went on to do some great things in jazz. Tommy Hilliker. John Riley, a great talented that
John Riley.
unfortunately passed away. And Dick Howard, who unfortunately is in a nursing home not playing anymore. We had Bob Wanflug, who's down in Florida now. He's not playing too much. Janie Walsh, and let's see, Frank Emmy. I was
Yep.
trying to think of the other. Oh, Cremo List.
Cremo.
Okay, first Cremo.
Greatest bass player ever.
Oh, Cremo, terrific. He ended up playing with Joe Bonamassa, for a while. I don't. He's still playing actively in Syracuse. Yeah, Cremo. Did I get all that group? I think we had two separate groups. Cloudburst and Breezin. I
Right.
get them mixed up. Cloudburst was first, and then Breezin. We played probably 4 or 5 times a week.
Yep, we worked 4 to 6 nights a week
Yeah.
for forever.
Yeah, for a long time back in the 70s. The remark I make is, unfortunately, we're making the same money as people are making now in bands, because things have kind of gone downhill as far as what musicians make. So we probably could go on with many other aspects of, like I said, I'd like to actually have you guys on again individually. Is there anything else you want to say relative to our probably knowledge of each other? We actually have known each other. You guys, how many years? Have you?
50. It's
50
this year.
years.
Yeah, good.
Who would have thought
Or
back
50.
then?
Yeah.
Well, and Dave Arliss is the bass player in my little jazz trio. Dave and I are still working together.
Right, and he's
Yep.
and he's still.
He was the original.
And before we
Yeah.
die, we're going to put together another project.
We're gonna do one more
we'll
project.
we'll do something good, the three of us, because well, just the fact that we've known each other so long and know how to put up
Too
with
late
each
to
other.
quit.
It's
That's
too late
right.
to quit now. I just want to give you one compliment before I go.
Okay, I'll
And
take
we
one.
have witnesses. In Cloudburst, the arrangements and the harmony parts, the vocals in that band will never be surpassed.
Yeah,
They will never be surpassed.
Yeah, it was a shame. Yeah, we had some great things. Well, just the people. We had kind of a disparate group of people. John Riley, for example, and Janie. We're all kind of different people, but it was. I listened back to things we made with a cassette, Earth, Wind, and Fire, Stevie Wonder.
Unbelievable.
The song, it was amazing that we. I did pride myself on the arrangements of things, and I didn't often adhere to the record per se.
Right.
So, and I love, probably because I'm not a singer, I love working out harmonies and backing up singers. That's why I had my group of Swing Cats. I really enjoy backing up
They're
singers.
still the best.
Yep. So, well, anyways, so what we'll do, we'll do one more song from a wonderful song to leave with somebody's show with somebody drowning, but I did write a song called "Down to the River." I'm not sure where I got
In a
this.
van.
They're
With a
actually
van.
And I like this CD because my name's actually on it, because this one calls me on a phone. He goes, Ann, this is the chord progression. This is the name of the tune. Come with some lyrics.
Yeah, so no, you actually
Yeah, I
definitely
did. I
had
came
a
up
you
with
had a
it.
part of it. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, some of the things
So
were
you're
more
familiar
yours.
with rivers and river
Yeah.
people?
Yeah.
Well, the river. This one I did right. And when I got there was a song back in the '60s about somebody going down to the river. It was a big hit.
Take me to the river?
No, that's my song.
It was Ode to Billy Joel.
No, it was
No?
it was not.
That's
it was
about
darker.
bridges, isn't it?
Yeah. But anyways,
No.
whatever.
Alright.
So we're gonna do my song that featured Ann Adessa, a song I wrote called "Down to the River," and we're gonna leave on that note. And I'd like to thank Duke Shanahan and Ann Adessa for being my guests, and I'll definitely try to get them back so we can expound on all these things we've done over the years. I'll explain that expound later, Duke, in case you need to know what that is. So,
Yeah.
all right. So here we go.